we are going to learn about prime and composite numbers. Let's start by doing a definition of prime numbers. Prime numbers are numbers that have exactly two factors. Let's do an example. If we have 2, apparently don't have any color. If we have the number 2 can be made by taking 1 times 2. And so the factors of 2 are 1 and 2. It's the only way to make it. So the number 2 is a prime number because it has exactly two factors. The number 3 can be made only by taking 1 times 3. The factors are 1 and 3. It has exactly two factors. Therefore, it is a prime number. Our next prime number is 5. It can be made by 1 times 5. The factors are 1 and 5. Therefore, it is a prime number. The number 7 is our next prime number, 1 times 7. The only way 7 can be made is 1 times 7. The factors are 1 and 7. It has exactly two factors. Okay, let's take a look at composite numbers. Composite numbers are numbers that have more than two factors. So, for example, if we take the number 4, the number 4 can be made by 1 times 4 or 2 times 2. The factors of 4 are 1, 2, and 4. It has more than two factors, therefore it is a composite number. Let's take one more example. Let's take the number 12. The number 12 can be made by 1 times 12, 2 times 6, 3 times 4, and that's all. So the factors of 12 are 1, 2, 3, 4, 6, and 12. It is a composite number because it has more than two factors. Okay, now let's take a look at the number 1. The number 1 can be made by 1 times 1. The only factor it has is 1. It only has one factor. It cannot be a prime number because a prime number needs to have two factors. It cannot be a composite number because a composite number needs to have more than two factors. So 1 is a number all by itself. It isn't prime and it isn't composite. Okay, let's take a look at a chart that can help us to better understand some of this. So on this chart right here, this is called a prime climb chart. It has the basic prime numbers of 2, 3, 5, and 7, in each of them in a different color. And every number that you see that has an orange on it is made up of the number 2. Every number that you see that has a green on it is made up of the number 3. And any one that you see that has the number 5 on it is made up of the number 5. And the same with 7. If it's purple, it's made up of 7. And all of these numbers that are made up of more than one number will be composite numbers. Now our 4 basic ones have a separate color. After that, they're all going to just be red, like 11, 13, 17, 19. Those are also prime numbers. Those are going to be a solid red. And if you look at a number, like for example, the number 44, well, let's just take a look at the number 44 up here. The number 44 has 2 sections that are orange, so that's going to be made up of a 2 times a 2, and it has one section that is red, but if you look closely at it, it has a little 11 in it. So the prime number that is representing that red is the number 11. Now if we look at this, 2 times 2 is 4, and 4 times 11 is 44. So these are the numbers that make up the number 44. Now we can use these numbers to help us to find all of the other factors, the regular factors of the number 44. So for example, we know that 1 times 44 is that 1 and 44 are factors of 44 because 1 times 44 is 44. Then we're going to go with 2. We look up here at our prime numbers. 2 is one of the numbers. Cover one of the 2's with your thumb, and what's left is 2 times 11. 2 times 11 is 22, so we're going to write that down. Now if we go down here and go in order, the next number would be 3, but there's no 3 up there in our prime factor numbers for 44, so we're going to cross that off. We're going to go to 4 next, and we can make 4 by taking 2 times 2, so cover the 2 times 2, and what's left is 11. And if we kept checking, we could go 5, there's no 5, there's no way to make a 6, there's no way to make a 7, or an 8, or a 9, or a 10. Our next number would be 11, and we've already used it. that tells us that these are the only factors of 44, and we can list them in order going down and going up. So our factors of 44 would be 1, 2, 4, 11, 22, and 44. So knowing the prime numbers can help us find the prime factors of a number can help us in finding the other numbers of a factor. So that's one of the uses of understanding prime and composite numbers.